Hello my students, Namaskar, Kulungka. I am Banik, PGT English, Barjala Binapani Higher Secondary School, Jirania. Today we will be reading a poem of Standard 10 from the book First Flight, and it's included in your pre-board syllabus as well. What's our poem about? We will know eventually. But first, students, tell me, what is the color that I am wearing today? White. Students, whenever you hear the color white, what are the few things that come to your mind? Let me help you. Milk or jasmine flowers? Is there something else that comes immediately to your mind? Let's see there. What's this? Snow, right? It's snowfall. You must have seen snowfall, right? If you had visited some hilly places, or if not, you must have seen snowfall in the movies. Isn't the scene beautiful? Obviously, snowfall is very beautiful. Students, suppose you had a very bad day. Your mom scolded you, you had a fight with your friends, your day was very bad and you are feeling really sad. And suddenly you see that right outside your window it's snowing. Snow is falling. Wouldn't your mood just change all of a sudden? Your despaired soul would immediately turn into a happy one. Yes, nature has those beautiful capacities to change our mood from a gloomy one to a happy one, and snowfall is one such event of nature that is one of the most beautiful things that can happen around us. Yes, so I think by now you must have got an idea of what's our poem today. Yes, it's the poem Dust of Snow by Robert Frost. First, let's talk about our poet. He is Robert Frost. So our poet Robert Frost was born on 1874. He was an American poet and he had won the Pulitzer Prize for 4 times. Robert Frost is a poet who writes about very small and ordinary things of life with which we can connect to. For example, snowfall. We all love snowfall, isn't it? And he wrote about that. And according to him, a little thing touches a larger thing. A little thing touches a larger thing. For example, our poem Dust of Snow is a very short and a simple poem, but with larger and deeper meanings. It shows how experiencing snow on one's body can actually brighten up one's day from dismay to happiness. Alright, so let's move into our poetry. Dust of Snow by Robert Frost. The way a crow shook down on me, the dust of snow from a hemlock tree, has given my heart a change of mood and saved some part of a day I had rued. So let's start. The first stanza, the way a crow shook down on me the dust of snow from a hemlock tree. You see here a crow was sitting on the branch of a tree, and below the tree there's a person standing. When the crow shakes or the crow moves, the branches also moves, and then the snow falls on the person standing right beneath the tree. Let's imagine that this person is our poet. We don't know whether the crow was trying to fly away or the crow just sat there, but in a way it becomes instrumental in the falling of the snow, right? So when the crow shook, the snow fell on our poet. The dust of snow from a hemlock tree. What's a hemlock tree? Hemlock is a poisonous plant with small white flowers. It's a poisonous plant with white flowers. So you can see here, students, the poet uses hemlock and crow. He could have used a much beautiful name for a tree like a maple tree or an oak tree or a pine tree. But why hemlock? And why crow? Why not a nightingale or a cuckoo for that matter? Because these two words are serving his purpose. He's trying to give a message. What's that? As I had told you earlier, that little things touches larger things. He wants to show that even things which are associated with negativity, like hemlock, which is a poisonous tree, and crow. Crow is a bird that we associate with negativity. For example, when the crow makes sound, we feel like someone is going to die. crow is associated with misfortune and hemlock is a poisonous tree. But yet, these two things today became instrumental in making the poet happy. How? When the snow fell on him. So here we can find that negative things is creating a positive environment. This is what our poet wants to say. Alright, now let's see the next lines. Has given my heart a change of mood and saved some part of a day I had rued. So what does he mean to say? Has given my heart. The falling of the snow has given his heart something. What? A change of mood. His mood has changed when the snow fell on him. And saved some part of a day I had rued. Rued means held in regret. The poet was actually having a very bad day. He was not in a very good mood. But when he went and stand below the hemlock tree and the snow fell on him, his mood immediately changed. All the day he was regretting something bad had happened to him maybe, and he was not at all happy. But when the snow fell on him, he became refreshed. Alright, and he felt like, no, now the rest of the day I'm not going to waste it. I'm not going to waste the negative things ruin the rest of my day. Okay, he wants to feel happy now, and he is actually very happy now. His mood has totally changed, and now he wants to spend his day without any kind of tension. We should not take things for granted, and we should accept the way in which nature wants to treat us. Okay, so the beauty of nature is again represented here. Again and again in poetries, we have seen that how nature always becomes instrumental in being a boon to our lives. Here also, the poet, who was very much sad the entire day, nature helped him to revive his mood. He became happy by very small things, some particles of snow. Okay? Isn't it a very beautiful poem? My dear students, this poem, Dust of Snow, which was published somewhere in 1923, and it was published in a book called The New Hampshire. And it became very popular immediately. Because you see, in the poem, there are very few characters. There's a hemlock tree, there's a crow, there's snow, and there's a person. And how nature and human, they communicate with each other. How nature and human became one by a very small incident. Okay, there's the essence of this poem. This poem actually talks about few themes. Let's see what are those. The themes could be nature and humans communication. How nature and human do communication. Okay, you see, a snow, it's a non-living thing. But a person's mood is immediately refreshed only because of that snow. It's a very small thing to us, but became such a major thing for a poet. The next thing could be nature healing negative emotions. Nature has a power of healing negative emotions. Nature indeed has a power of healing our emotions, healing a tired and a crying soul. Wordsworth always used to say that nature also has got a life. Okay? Nature talks to people. The only thing is we have to listen to nature in order to connect to it. Nature tries to talk to us. Only if we have those eyes, ears open to feel it, nature can save a lot of lives. Okay? A third thing could be significance of small things. We don't need very costly, large things or bombastic things in order to change our mood. Very small things are enough to change our life. For example, in our poem, we can see just some particles of snow were enough to make our poet smile, to make our poet feel that no, I don't need to be tensed, I don't need to worry, I am happy, and his day was saved. Dear students, two words are very essential here. One is rude, another is saved. We can see that the poet says his day was entirely rude, the entire day, and it was saved when he came into close contact with nature. Here, two important things are there. One is the human complexity, and another is the nature's simplicity or animal simplicity. We find humans run through such complicated and myriad emotions. Once he is happy, once he is sad, once he is joyful, and another time he is crying. Okay, our poet was also going through such turmoils of emotions. And then when he came into contact with nature, that is snow, and the crow, which became instrumental in the communication, his day was saved.
Okay, so let's recapitulate. The short poem by Robert Frost throws light upon the unimaginable healing power of nature and tiny things. From a bad mood to ill health, there is nothing that can't be cured by nature. The author was experiencing one such bad day when a crow's movement near a hemlock tree dusted snow upon him. The snow instantly makes him happier. His day gets a lot better. Thus, the supremacy of nature as a whole has made him realize how petty his problem was. The fact that hemlock tree is poisonous and the crow is the indicator of doom and fear are used in this poem as the carriers of happiness. The poet, through these objects, has tried to highlight that negative aspects can also bring positivity in life. Being outdoors in nature with all its unpredictability can benefit anyone, anywhere, and at any time.
Now let's talk about the form, the literary devices, and the rhyme scheme of our poem. Our poem has 4 stanzas and it has 8 lines in total. Then let's talk about the literary device. One important literary device used in our poem is enjambment. What is enjambment? Enjambment means, if you look into our poem, you will find that there are no punctuation marks as such. The first line started and it ended directly in the last line. The way a crow started and it ended to of a day I had rued, and in the last line there's only a full stop. In between lines there are no punctuation marks. This kind of a literary device is known as enjambment, that is the continuation of a sentence without a pause beyond a line or a stanza is known as enjambment. Alright, the next literary device is alliteration. What is alliteration? Where 2 words are placed together with the same consonant sounds. Like we have in the 7th line, saved some. Saved and some, 2 words are placed together. We find the consonant sounds SS are there. Okay, so this is one example of alliteration in the 7th line, and also in the 5th line we can find has given my heart. So you see has and heart both has the consonant sound of H, right? So these 2 are the examples of alliteration. If we look into the rhyme scheme of our poem, you can find that the rhyme scheme is AB, AB, CD, CD. Alright, now let's discuss some probable questions from our poem.
So now let's discuss about some short questions. What is a dust of snow? What does the poet say has changed his mind? How has the poet's mood changed? Here we say that dust of snow refers to the tiny particles of snow. The particles are so small that poet referred to them as dust. And he said that this dust of snow actually changed his frame of mind instantly and his day got a lot better. What are the birds that are usually named in poems, and why do you think that the poet has used crow here in this poem? Birds like sparrow, nightingale, peacock are more often named in poems, but unlike other poems, crows are not so very often used in poems, but here they have been used to serve the purpose of our poet, and he used them for indicating negative references, but again how negative things can also have positivity in them. That's why a crow has been used here. Okay, and then a question may be like, what is a hemlock tree, and why doesn't the poet write about a more beautiful tree like maple, oak, or pine? We'll say that trees are seen as mighty creatures imparting wisdom as they are too old. They give us oxygen, absorb the carbon dioxide, which is connected with absorbing all negative energy. Here he could have used the beautiful trees like maple, oak, or pine, but he wants to indicate a sad scene, right? Therefore, hemlock has been used here because being poisonous, a hemlock tree is considered bad, and so he refers to it. But here in this poem, the hemlock tree is not at all bad. It turned his bad day into a good one. Okay. Next question. What do the crow and hemlock represent, joy or sorrow? What does the dust of snow that the crow shakes off a hemlock tree stand for? We'll say that here crow and hemlock, they represent not sorrow but joy. By not using birds like sparrow and nightingale and trees like maple, oak or pine, the poet has tried to break down the preconceived notions of that people have about nature. He has tried to make us understand that we see the world not as how it is, but as how we want to see it. Thus, the crow sitting and a hemlock tree together made his day better. The dust of snow therefore stands for joy. That's all about the short questions, my dear students. Now let's talk about some long answer questions. What are the possible themes of this poem? As I have told you earlier, the possible themes are about nature and how they communicate with human beings, how small things become so important. So one important theme can be of hope. The speaker happily and quickly decides that the day is saved just because of the dust of snow had fallen on him. He no longer thinks that his day is wasted, and instead he has a hope that his day has been salvaged or it has been saved. We should adopt the speaker's outlook and maintain a positive perspective on life in general, that a hope can change anything. Next question that about nature, my students. Nature has the power to lift our mood even when we are highly despondent. That is the importance of nature. It is a poem that enlightens us how small things of nature can refresh us and cheer us for the rest of the day. Frost's writing skill as a poet lies in the fact that he is able to effectively convey to us how a little thing like falling of snowflakes can have a refreshing effect on a poet's mind. Last question, as I had told earlier, small things, important of small things. And this poem shows that little things in life can make huge changes in our life. The simple things can make huge differences. Just think about those random acts of kindness we do and how much they brighten a person's day. For example, a needy person, a beggar, he needs something and we give him food or money. How happy he will be. These are the small things that bring such great happiness in our lives. So in this way you are going to frame the long answer questions. All right.
Okay, my dear students, so what is the message that we get from this poem? We find that even a positive attitude in life can make the world a better place to live in. We should always try to find positive aspects in negative aspects of life. Whatever is happening in our surroundings has a great impact on our mental health, and nature also helps in maintaining the mental balance in our lives. We should try to draw happiness from little things in life so that an otherwise bad day can turn into a happy one through very little things in our life. We should try to find happiness not only in costly and large things but also from little things in life. So we have talked about the rhyme scheme, the form of our poem, the literary devices and the questions. I hope this video will be very helpful to you, and don't forget to enjoy the snow in the next winter if you get a chance. Hope to see you soon with another video. Bye.